Okay, evening grade 11s. Let's pay attention to a section in our trigonometry which is called special angles. It's not a difficult section. It is a very, very easy section, but it does require that we have an understanding of how to deal with special angles, especially because in most cases we're not allowed to use a calculator. So when we're not allowed to use a calculator, in order for us to resolve anything that has to do with special angles, we then have to draw a quarter of a circle and actually put some numbers there and make an application for it. So I'm going to show you how that is done. So I'm going to try and draw the quarter of the circle right now. So I would start with my vertical line, as you can see there. Then I will come to my horizontal line so that it gives me the x-axis. This is the y-axis, and then this is the x on this side, right? Then I'm going to try and put the quarter of the circle. As you can see how I'm drawing it, there it is. And then I'm going to put some letters, but some lines first before I put some letters. Let's remember this is 0. And then, of course, I am going to start making lines because our special angles, remember, relate to angles such as 30 degrees, 45 degrees, and then finally 60 degrees. So whenever we have a sine 30 degrees, we know that we can find a way, if we are not allowed to use a calculator to solve this, we can make use of our diagram, this diagram, to actually find the value of this. We will just deal with those just now. So for now, let us just draw this. So the first one that we draw there, it's the first line, and then it is the second one. The second line there, it's a bit crooked, and then it is the third one. Now, if you check, I have 3 lines, so it's 1, 2, 3. Now, all of those things, when we look at the quarter of the circle, they considered a radius, and we know that all these lines, if they represent radius, they should all be equal. And then, of course, we do know that r is 2, but we'll just prove that just now. Now, having said that, I am now going to start labeling this. So I'm going to put the angles. Here we have 30 degrees, here we have 45 degrees, and then here we have 60 degrees. So those are our angles that are there. So let me show you again. It's 30 degrees, 45, and then of course here we have 60 degrees. Now please check carefully where our counting starts. We start counting from the top there, and when we count from the top, we have 0, and then we have 1, then we have 2, and then we have 3, then we have 4. Now that's how the counting is done. But we also count in the reverse as well. So we start from this side again. We have 0, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, and then finally we have a 4. Now what we do immediately after we've done this count, we put the root on these things so that we resolve them. We put root on top of this, root on top of this one, root on top of this, root on top of this, root on top of this, and then root on top of this one, and then also root on top of this, and then root on top of this one. What we should understand mathematically is that if I resolve a few of them, root 0, for example, will give us 0, and then root 4, for example, will give us 2, and then root 3 will give us exactly root 3, and then root 2 will give us root 2, right? Root 1 will give us 1. So just to tackle a few, so please ensure that you do have an understanding of this thing. That's basically how you resolve this. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw a complete triangle now with the correct numbers that we can use. So I'm going to redraw this diagram again to show you now the final one that we can now apply when we start resolving the special angles. So let's put again our x there, and then this is our y, and this is our x, 0 again, right? Then I'm now going to to resolve those solutions there. So there is our line again, there is the second line again, and there is the third line. Okay, it's not nicely drawn, but I think you can easily see. Not that much circular, but it's fine. And then it's 30 again, and then it's 45, and then it's 60 degrees again, right? So let's now put the correct angles in this.